Hello, everybody. I'm here. I'm Debbie LaPrat, and my co-host Calibri is taking a little sabbatical. She's got kids, and you know how the summer is and stuff like that. And I have my wonderful guest. Her name is Lori Ellsworth. So say hi, Lori.
Hi.
So
Hi,
you're
Lori.
watching WJZZ Cool Jazz TV. Get down and dirty, talking art, and you can watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook Live. And I want everybody to. You can call in. You can talk to Lori. You got lots of questions. You can like us on Facebook. When you click on it, it goes right to YouTube. So I need you guys to share it, share it, share it, comment. The more we get out there, the more great it is. Lori is a tremendous painter. I got some of her work. I mean, it's pretty amazing what she's done. So this is my friend Lori. Lori and I go back a number of years. Guys, is it over 10?
It's over 10.
It is over 10. Yeah,
it's over 10. Yeah.
Yeah, we met at my store.
I was
and
just a child.
she was just a baby. She was only a teenager then. Yeah, me too. Yeah, so Lori is here. She is our guest. I'm really excited to have her. And you guys got to hear her story. Her story is amazing, and her work is fabulous. So, Lori, talk to us. So, okay, so.
Where do you want to start?
Yeah, okay. Start. So, how long have you been painting? Is it a lifetime or you?
It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime.
Okay.
I can say that honestly, I remember as far back as being a toddler.
Really? I was going to ask you that.
In a sandbox, and I didn't want to play with any toys. I wanted to take my finger and draw, and I'd
In the
smooth
sand.
out that sand, and I'd draw something, and I'd smooth it out again, and I'd draw again. So it was. I think it was just, you're just
kind of
born with that interest. Yep. Yep.
No. So, like when you were in elementary school, did you do a lot of drawing and coloring, or?
Oh
did
yeah,
you
yeah.
just
And then I remember, I was a poor kid, and I was actually a foster care kid, so I was bumped around a lot. So it was drawing and painting and drawing and painting. It was like in my recluse little world there. And people used
Did you
to
find
get me
it as
stuff.
like a release for you when as a child?
It was an escape.
It was an escape. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it still is an escape.
Yes, we'll get into that. We will get into that. She's got quite a story, but we want to just kind of talk about her and stuff like that. And then, like when you were in middle school, were you doing anything special? Did you take art classes?
So by the time I was in middle school, I was actually doing pastel portraits for money.
In middle
In
school?
middle school, yeah.
Look at her.
I
She is
remember-
the hustler lady, man.
I remember. Well, I had to make some money. It's
Yeah.
like you're a kid that age. How are you gonna make some money? Well, I can do this.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and I remember it was like, I think in middle school it was like $20 a portrait, and then by the time I
So
was in high school,
what were you
it was
doing?
25.
People's portrait?
Yes.
Yeah. Were your
People would say,
friends,
"Here."
or was it
No,
people?
it just started word of mouth kind of thing, just
That's so
random. I
cool.
always
And
had
where
things
did you
to do.
grow up at? What area?
I was all around, really like Royal Oak, Troy, Clawson,
the Metro Detroit.
Metro Detroit area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool. That is very cool. And then when you were in high school, what were you doing? Hustling? Were you doing the hustle draw? She was hustle drawing.
Yes. Yes.
And where did you go to high school at?
Well, I started out in Troy High School,
Okay.
but I did not finish high school
Okay.
because I was tired of being bounced around.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started taking care of myself.
Okay.
So I started working and taking care of myself.
Wow.
So that was that.
Were you selling your art then at all? or-
Yes.
That's so
I
cool.
was still. So now I'm up to $25 a portrait.
Wow, she went up from 20 to 20. You guys got a deal there. Now we won't even say what she's up to, So,
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. I remember I'd like work, but I'd stay up in the night and crank those portraits out.
Really?
Mhm.
And what did you paint your portraits with? I mean, with
Pastel. It was pastel.
Okay, do you do chalk or drawing, or do you?
Well, pastel is a.
Is-
I mean,
is-
people,
that's right, it
People
is
think
a
of it as
paint.
chalk, but
Okay.
it's not chalk. But people think
Okay.
of it as chalk.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
And
my
what's-
medium for a really long time.
Okay.
Really long time.
All right. That's
Matter of fact, there was one that they had on there that people comment on all the time.
Maybe he can
It's
pull one of the
pastel. See if you
pictures up.
can-
Just see if you can pull one of our pictures up, if you can, Derek. Okay. You know.
It's not any one of those.
if you want to talk about those, we can. You know.
So the one on the bottom left, the lady with the dog, that's pastel.
Okay.
The one of the two children, that's pastel.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And how about the person with, you said
Those
the person
are
with the dog?
oils.
Those are oils?
Those are oils.
And those are, explain
Those
to
are
people
more recent.
about oils and how difficult they are and stuff like that.
Well, they are. It's kind of like a step beyond pastels.
Okay.
I stopped pastels because of toxicity, basically.
Oh, really? I didn't realize pastels were toxic.
Yeah, because they're so every medium is
Mhm.
really made from the same pigments.
Okay.
But in a pastel, they're chalky, so they're in a dust, right?
Okay.
So they're really compressed. They're almost entirely. I used to make them by hand, but they're almost entirely pigments compressed.
Really?
Yes. So if you have a carcinogenic type of pigment like cadmium or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the air, you're breathing it in.
Wow.
I mean, so I gave it up
Okay.
and started going to oils. People think of oils as being toxic, but they're not.
Okay. Okay.
Some of the mediums can be,
Okay.
which I
okay.
don't use.
Okay.
So
Do you like to paint small? Do you like to paint big? Do you like to paint enormous? Or,
I don't paint too awfully small.
Okay.
Whenever I would teach or whatever, I tell people, give yourself a chance. It's like if you're trying to do something on a really small canvas.
Is that harder to paint on small canvas than big?
For me it is.
Okay.
But I want to be able to have a chance to put that stroke in there.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, if I'm on something really small,
You got that little stroke,
yeah,
but when you got
yeah.
the big canvas, you can do the big
right?
stroke.
And I go big or go home. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I
I
don't
like that. Go
really
big
do.
or go home.
Yeah, I
That's a
don't really
good
do
one.
too much.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, guess what? We're going to take
Yes.
a fast break.
okay.
I told you time goes fast.
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art. I'm Debbie LaPratte, the artist, and my co-host Calibri is taking a little sabbatical, her little summer sabbatical. She's probably sitting on her porch tonight and swinging. So hi, Calibri.
She's watching the show.
She's watching the show, and this is my co-host. This is my guest. I call her my co-host, Lori Ellsworth, and you're watching Get Down and Dirty. You can watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook Live. Please comment, and if you guys want, call us. I don't know the number. Maybe Derek can put the number up, but call us if you got questions
There it is.
to Lori. It would be really, really cool. We'd love to have you. We'd love to hear your input, and please put comments if you guys are watching. So. Okay, so, all right, yeah, so go big or go home, okay?
Yeah.
And so, now, were you professionally trained?
I went through a lot of professional training. I went through classical studies.
And where'd you do that at?
I did that at one place was an atelier in Houston
Okay,
when I was down there for a while, and then I went and I studied in LaPorte, Texas, under Johnny Lilydall.
and
So
explain
if
who
you
these
see
guys
like
are.
if you see like Johnny Lilydall publications, when you'll still see Lilydall publications in all the art magazines and so on. That's kind of her legacy. But she herself so they do a lot of publications, but she herself was an amazing oil. She's passed now, but an oil painter teacher. She was my favorite instructor.
So when they're teaching you,
Yeah.
are they putting like a model in front of you and telling you have to paint like this, or they just kind of let you kind of just do what you want to paint? Like let's say you got somebody
depends
there.
on what you're studying. So if you're
Okay.
studying classical drawing, then there's hard and fast rules. Do this and this is how
Okay,
you measure,
okay.
and this is your plumb line, and so on. I mean, there's hard and fast rules. But if you're painting, it depends on the instructor in the class. I mean, it depends on what they want to get across to you.
What was your favorite instructor?
It was Johnny Lilydall.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she was.
Okay.
But I mean, I remember like all the way back into maybe being 17, 18 years old, taking life drawing classes
Okay.
at the BBAC.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, the BBAC is the Birmingham Bloomfield Art Center.
Yeah, I
And
have
they're
a
still there, and they're still
I have a
teaching
piece
classes.
in there right now in the 41st.
Do you?
Yeah, in the 41st
Okay, so
annual.
tell us that you're, what,
It's their 41st annual Michigan Fine Arts competition.
at the
And
Birmingham Bloomfield Art Center.
yeah, and so I have a piece in there. But when I walked in there to deliver that piece, it was just like deja vu.
Go
It's like,
to-
oh
I
my
took some
gosh,
classes there too, in the
because
pottery.
I was a kid when I was in there.
Really?
You
So
know,
that
taking
place has been
classes.
around for a long
Lo-
time.
Shh, don't say it like that.
No, it's just it's just a couple years.
Yeah, just-
you know,
just-
it was on before we
it
were
was a
there.
short minute ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is so cool. So
Yeah.
you took classes there too, or
Yeah. So it's been I've taken them.
from all over?
Right.
Have you traveled? Did you travel anything in Europe or study in Europe?
I
or
did
anything?
not.
Okay.
I went there, but I didn't do any
Okay,
studying there.
Okay. So your favorite place, the favorite instructor was that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. See, hey, got any
She
questions
introduced me
out
to
there,
oils.
anybody?
She introduced me to oils.
Oh, okay.
That was
okay.
when I first started doing oils, was with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you painting with her? Like what kind of figures? Were you painting just like people?
Yeah, we did some still lifes, as I recall, and we did some landscape work, but it was primarily the still lifes.
Okay.
That
What is your, what would be, if you could paint anything in the world, what is your favorite?
humans.
Yeah, she is fantastic.
Humans.
I mean.
Humans.
Humans, okay.
Yeah.
Because her
Yeah.
painting is just so, it's just so soft, but so, there's just something about it when you look at it. It's intriguing.
Dramatic.
It is. It's dramatic, but it's intriguing. It's like you can really see the depth of it.
It's the
and
only
stuff.
place I want drama in my life is in my paintings.
Is in your paintings.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. The rest
okay.
of it.
Yeah.
But
So do you do commissions for people? Let's say if anybody's interested in having maybe Lori do any kind of like do you do dogs? Well, you did do some dogs and
I
families.
used to do a lot of. I don't know if you remember, Deb, but
a lot of animals, didn't you?
I did a lot of animals, and
Yeah.
portrait commissions. But people hired me more to paint their dogs
Isn't that
than they
interesting?
did
Yeah.
their kids. But it was just the way it went. But I did that. I was full-time artist, just,
Right. I remember
and
that.
that was when my mom was, when I was
That's
looking after
right.
my mom.
That's right.
So I didn't work,
Yeah.
another job. I just
Yeah.
did
So
that.
was there anybody else in your family that was an artist?
No.
Just you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was
It's not
very
on
cool.
either. It's not on either side.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just often wonder if if it's something like like do you carry this on? Or,
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
A kid sitting there in a sandbox and
And
drawing.
just
You'd think
drawing.
that they saw it somewhere.
Right.
But I
right,
did
right.
not.
Yeah.
And I
just
remember
think
drawing
it's-
profiles of people. What I was drawing
Really?
as a toddler was profiles of people. They were goofy looking, of course, but
Yeah.
but in my head,
You
that's
look like the person.
I
That is-
started out trying to draw people.
Wow. See, I can't draw, but I can see in dimension. Because I try to draw and I'm like,
Yeah,
but I can
Yeah.
see it in a dimension.
Yeah.
Isn't it just so different how our brains all work, our
Yes.
artist brains kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yes.
Now, how about any of your kids? Any of your kids artists?
yes, my so my middle daughter and my son wouldn't.
he wouldn't. He still doesn't admit that he's an artist.
He wouldn't do it because he thought it was a girl thing. It was like because his mom and his sister, So I'm like, it's not.
See,
And,
look at some of the famous
uh,
artists.
Yes, but in his head, so.
Because mom and sister are doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, but my middle daughter was always an artist. Matter of fact, she had when she graduated from high school, she had a gold key portfolio to CC.
CCS.
Yeah, CCS.
So
And
did she go there? Or?
She did not. She decided to get married and have a
And have
family.
baby.
Like, boom,
Okay. Okay.
But she had a gold key. So all the way through her high school and junior high school, I was she was always like in the art groups, and I was the parent that was hanging around in there,
That's cool.
doing stuff.
That's cool. Now, did you teach in the high school any of the kids there or anything?
Yes, I did. I taught. I worked with kids who were. What's
like need a little help or
yes. But it's a shoot.
That's okay.
It's the kids that are
Like autistic.
autistic.
Okay.
They were on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
Thank you
Right.
for saving me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on the autism spectrum. So
Did you find them very creative?
I loved it.
I bet
I
they
loved
were.
it, and I
bet they were.
They were, and we'd do these paintings, and I'd get them painting, and I started painting horses because of them.
Oh, really? Why?
Yes, remember my horses?
Yes, I remember your horses.
Yes.
Can we do we have any more of her pictures up? Possibly. I don't know. If you do, can you pull one up? So yeah, she's got some. Wow. Yeah. So you like doing horses?
So yeah, I started doing horses because that's what they were interested in.
Okay.
And I really had never been, I was a city kid. I was never around any horses or anything, but
Yeah.
they're so dynamic, and I fell in love with horses and
And
just
their
just
bodies,
painting horses.
just the way they
Just
look
the-
in their mane and
Yeah, they're very
everything.
majestic.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's cool.
so anyway, so I started horses because of these kids, because to keep them interested.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they'd get, and they're into it, and they're just going and going, and then I'd always have to stop them. Okay, stop.
Why? Why'd you have to stop?
Because kids on that spectrum will just keep going and going and going, and they had beautiful work.
And they would just keep wanting to. They didn't know how to stop. Okay.
Right, they didn't know how to stop.
Okay.
So it was always kind of a joke. They thought it was funny that I would just, okay, y'all stop when we're supposed to stop, and I would.
That's cool.
But yeah, I wound up doing an exercise for them. I wish I had that one in here. I don't. I did an exercise for them, and I was trying to show them how you can paint without doing an outline, a cartoon, and then painting in the cartoon. That you could just paint directly
You
onto
mean
a
without
canvas.
drawing it
Correct.
and just painting it with the paint?
Correct. So I really wanted to do a bold, fast. It had to be fast for them. So I took a big paintbrush and I'd stick 3 colors on it and make big strokes. And I did this horse, and the horse, we went for a break, we came back in and we looked across the room, whoa, look at that, And that horse, I sold so many copies, prints
Really?
of that horse, and the original wound up in New York City, yes, with a collector. So,
It is so awesome.
and it was because of these kids. I
That's
thought
so
I was
cool.
doing something for them, and when it
And you
really,
ended up doing something that really got you interested.
in actual fact, they helped me.
That is so cool. So do you keep in contact with any of the kids or
No,
anything
they're
like
all-
that? Well,
This
they're
was-
probably all
this was a
grown.
Yeah, this was
Just a couple years ago. Yeah, just like yeah, we won't say how many years ago.
Yeah, that's right. So,
That is so cool.
but yeah, that's
That
what
is so
that's
cool.
what was going on then. That was fun. And my
Okay.
daughter was still in high school at that time, so
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
so it was
That's
fun.
cool. That is very cool.
I've
That
done
is
a
very
lot.
cool. Yeah. Oh, I know you have. I know you have. And she also teaches. She also is a
Yeah.
teacher.
I haven't taught for a while, and I guess we'll talk about that. But
Yeah.
but I'm sticking my feelers out again to considering it. But I taught a number of workshop classes where they were individual, a lot with places with Deb and whatnot, and I also taught for Michael's.
That's right. I remember you were teaching for Michael's.
Yeah,
I
and
forgot
then
about
and
that.
then Grumbacher, who's a paint supplier, material supplier for for Michael's, hired me to do Grumbacher painting lesson plans.
I remember you talking about that.
So I did
Right.
six lesson plans for them that they shipped out nationwide to all of the.
So she's national. She's worldwide.
That was my published. People say, "Are you published?" That was my first. That was my published. But yeah, They went nationwide to all the Michael stores, and I still see some of those on Facebook where they painted at a class. I'm like, that was my lesson plan right there.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So was it hard to put together a lesson plan for people to teach people? I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Oddly, it was not.
Really?
Yeah, oddly, it was not. I'd done enough teaching to that point. The difficulty with it was that I was supposed to do. I was using their student grade.
I remember us talking about this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
so
student
explain
grade
that. That was
acrylics.
interesting.
And the student grade acrylics are just that. I mean, they're very inexpensive, so they're not very highly pigmented.
Right.
That sort of thing. So to try and get a robust yellow in there or something was a challenge.
Right,
So
right,
that part
right.
was challenging.
Well, there we got some pictures up.
Okay.
This is cool. So, yeah. So, if you guys got any questions, give us a call. You can have some questions for Lori. She might be teaching someplace. We don't know where. So, if you're interested, and then here's one of the pictures. Hopefully, it'll come up. So, if they want to contact you, they can find you on Facebook,
So
on
I think
Instagram.
Instagram is
Instagram.
probably Lori Ellsworth Art on Instagram is
Okay.
probably.
Oh, we'll put
probably
it
the
in
best
our.
way.
We'll put it in our.
Okay.
In our thing, so anybody wants to reach you or even have classes. Did you private classes or?
So I've been thinking about resurrecting that a little bit, but it's just what I've been just toying with.
To figure out
with-
where you want to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I enjoyed it.
Right, right, right. And you like the people.
Yeah.
You're a people person kind
Yeah,
of
I
a
just
thing.
like. I
We're going
just
to take a
enjoyed it.
really fast break, everybody. I know it's a little bit early, but you're watching WJZZ Cool Jazz TV, the coolest station in the world. Get down and dirty talking art. I'm Debbie LaPrette. This is my guest, Lori Ellsworth, the famous painter, the extravaganza, and my co-host Calibri is on a little bit of a sabbatical this summer for a couple weeks. And we're here just talking about her work and her story. She's got quite a story type of thing. So, all right, I want to ask the question.
What?
Do you remember when we reconnected? I've known, God, it's got to be more than 10 years. It's got to be about almost.
I admit to
19.
nothing more than that.
Yeah, I think it's about 20. So I just kind of reconnected with Lori. I seen you at a couple art shows and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I seen this painting. And it was very dark and stuff. So, continue. This is quite a story.
Well, I kind of wish you could pull up those series,
Which one?
but I don't.
Which one do you
That's
want
all
to
the
pull?
series that
Like
were
all the
from-
dark, like all the dark.
uh-huh.
If you can pull up like the ones that are like the black and whites, or like the girl
the
and the
people.
guy, you know, with the all the like the black and white type of thing.
Yeah.
We'll get them up.
So basically, I'm not really. That's one of them.
There you
I'm not really one to go out and get real personal, but
yeah, so we kind of just do a general. Yeah.
But and I also do not claim it as my story, because my story, that's part of the saga, right? But it's
Yeah.
not my story. My story is a whole lot more than that, and
Right.
my story continues.
Right.
So my story continues past that. That was the big bumps in the road we all have in
Right.
life.
Everybody gets challenges in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
This was my challenging
This was
time.
what-
I found myself in an abusive marriage, a physically abusive marriage, and at the same time I got cancer. So I was dealing with all of that. Obviously, I was not painting. I wasn't teaching. I wasn't.
Oh,
I
you
was
weren't
trying
doing
to
no painting or anything.
No,
All
I
right.
was trying to survive.
Okay. Okay. And how many years was that approximately?
It was 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. If you guys can pull anything up, we'll take it. Whatever. We like the black and white kind of things. So, So yeah. And so
yeah.
then I think I found you on Facebook or something. I see one of your paintings.
yeah,
And then we
yeah.
started talking.
We started
again.
talking about
Just your
about
work.
that, because the thing of it was that I wound up, I'd gotten through the cancer, and I was going through divorce, and I was at my daughter's house, and I was in her lower level. I want to call it a basement, but it's nicer.
Here's
nicer
one of the
than any
pieces.
other.
All right,
Yeah,
you want
that's
to talk
one of
about
them.
this one? This one is fantastic.
Yeah, this one is I called I Can See Clearly.
Okay.
That one is all of them, which I'd like to see that series,
Yeah.
but all of them that series started with me.
That was
trying
when
to
you went
come-
back to painting, right?
Yeah, I needed to come out of all of that trauma. Bottom line, I just needed to come out of it, and I didn't know how to go about it. It was
Mhm.
very difficult. So I just went and bought some supplies, because all my stuff was in storage, and I set up a little corner table in my daughter's basement, and I got some daylight bulbs, and I just
your
started painting away, and everything was very, very. It was dark, as Deb says,
Because
and
when
it
she
was very
showed
emotional.
me that, I said, Laura, you're coming out of your darkness.
Yeah,
And that's when me and Colibri curated a show coming out of the darkness. Here's one of her other pieces. Now, who is this guy?
well, that's Johnny Depp, but that was after. That was
That was
the fact.
after? Okay.
Yeah.
And so we had
If
a show. It was like with art and stuff like that, and it was
He
all
might-
women who have had some kind of a trauma in their life, and it
Mhm.
was amazing. It was so amazing, and how
Mhm.
many women came forth and got talking about, because of you, was able to share their stories and find out that you're not alone. That there are so many other
Oh,
women.
right,
It was amazing.
that is the thing
You
that
know,
I found out after having people just don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Right,
So
right.
so having had experienced that, it's like I've met so many amazing
Oh, gosh,
people
yeah.
who've been down similar paths. You
Right,
know.
and that's why we started the show Coming Out of the Darkness. We will probably have it again next April. And it's all we're celebrating women and their power and how great we are and how we all survive. You know, and how we all
Yeah,
come out
and how
of
we find
this.
a way to survive.
We find
yeah.
a way to survive
Yeah.
and how we all kind of create a new life. You know, kind of a thing.
I created a whole new person.
Yes, she is. Look at how cute she is.
Whole new person.
She is. She walked in and I go, whoa, look at that hair. Because her hair was a little longer. And I went, wow. And it's so cute. It's just so cute. I mean, it's like.
But I mean, inside and out, whole new person.
That's right. She's a cool person.
This is version 2.
This is version,
or maybe
hey,
4
that's
or
okay.
5.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. We just keep creating.
Yes.
It's like our art. We just keep creating ourselves.
Yes.
We kind of keep recreating and recreating ourselves.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
because if you don't, it gets stale.
Yes.
And then you just sit there and go, what the heck?
I can't get stale.
I can't either.
It's
You
not
know,
my-
it's like
not
I
my
love the
nature.
creating and I'm always thinking, and it's just so much fun, you know, kind of thing. So, and so you're not living at your daughter's anymore. You
No.
went to
So and then
yeah.
you know.
Go ahead with the story.
Yeah. So can't. Got
You guys want to put
past-
some more pictures up as we talk? It's great.
Yeah. Got past the cancer. Got past the divorce. Got past the criminal trial for his. You know, for him and all that kind of stuff that you got to deal with, and then finally got my place, and
And she started painting.
version 2 here is happy now.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You know. So yeah. So yeah. If you want to put some more photos up, we can talk about some more photos and stuff like that.
So when I
Yeah.
when I did get the new place, though, I created this massive studio.
Where's your
and
studio? Is it in your?
It's in my house.
Okay. Is it in
Yeah.
your basement or in your
Yes.
upstairs? Okay.
Yes, I did. The first level is completely studio.
Okay.
So
That's so
it's
cool.
about, I don't know, it's about 800 square feet, something
That's a
like
nice
that.
size
It's a nice
studio.
sized studio. Yeah, yeah.
This is
So-
studio. That's cool. Oh, here's Abraham Lincoln.
Well,
Is that right? Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That was one I did a very fast painting of. I call it a sketch. It was an oil sketch because
Now, why do they call it? I don't understand. I heard other
it's not
people
finished.
say it. It's not. It looks finished.
It's not finished, and it was a very rapid. I probably spent 2 hours on it.
You spent 2 hours on that?
Because I needed to get out of a slump. I was in like
Okay.
every once in a while you just kind
You
of
kind of go stuck in the gutter. Is what I call it.
Yeah, so
And
I
you
was
just
stuck
can't
for a minute.
create.
So
You just don't know what you want to do, and
yeah, you
you
don't
just
know what you want to do. So I thought, well, I don't know. I'm going to paint Abe.
okay. You and Abe had a date,
That was it.
but it looks finished to me.
Yeah, everybody says that,
You
and
know,
it's and
I
then
guess
I
if
say,
you
well,
don't share it and you don't tell anybody, they don't know the difference. They only know what they see. You know, I think it's fabulous. I think it's fabulous.
is he able to look on the Instagram or no?
The what?
Instagram?
Yeah, I got all this from Instagram.
I know, but we're missing probably.
Okay, if you can put some more up, whatever you guys got, just put them all up with a bird. You know,
No, I was looking for the I was looking for the Out of the Darkness.
okay,
all
so you
of,
can talk
all of
about
that
him.
Series, but
our
That's
bird,
okay.
our crow. Is that our crow?
it's a raven.
Oh,
And
it's a
Yeah, I
raven,
got a little
okay.
thing for ravens. So
Okay.
so I painted a couple of those, and it's always on the whim. You
Okay.
know, whatever
Whatever
my
strikes
whim.
you at the moment, you just paint.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm a alla prima painter,
And what does that mean?
and that means you paint from beginning to end. Like
So
I'm
you
not.
complete the piece
I
before
do.
you even get done with it. Because a lot of people, they take days and days.
I'd shoot myself in the head.
Oh, why is that? Why is that? You just,
I don't know.
Oh.
Because I paint with inspiration, and when that inspiration is there, I have to do it, and I do it from beginning to end. I mean, there were a lot of it. You know, John Singer Sargent and everything. He was an alla prima painter. I mean, there
I
was a
didn't know
lot
that.
of yeah.
So
there
what
were
is
a
it
lot
called?
of alla prima.
Alla prima?
Alla prima.
Okay.
So it means from beginning to end, and you paint in one session. You're from beginning to end. You paint that thing in one session,
Wow.
and that's how I paint.
So go put another picture up. Come on,
So
guys.
if I didn't do that,
You'd be just
I
like-
wouldn't go back to them.
I was wondering about that.
It's
yeah.
just
It's
my
like it's-
nature.
I'm
I'd
done.
be on to something
Okay.
else.
Now
for
this
sure.
one is incredible. It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. So when did you? Was this recent, old, new?
No, that was before the trauma. Right before the trauma.
Okay. All right. Right. See, you can
That's why I
see.
still had color.
Okay, so you can see her work, how it's got color and the vibrance and just the lady looking so elegant and stuff like that. So How big is that piece?
It's 8 by 10. It's actually one of the smaller ones I've
It's
ever
8 by
done.
10?
Yeah. I
Wow.
don't know why I painted.
She just kind of
Something
started
that
hitting the
small.
brush. I mean, just the detail that you could see, like in her clothes and just her, in her hair and her face, and oh my God, it always blows my mind when I see her work. So if you guys want to put another one up, maybe we got like a dark one, like a black and white kind of. Now that's very cool. This is a newer piece, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of your water. Don't you
Uh-huh.
have? That's very.
Uh-huh.
Is that representing when you went to North Carolina? Thing, or you get inspired over there, or just
Yeah,
kind of.
Hilton Head area.
Yeah, Hilton Head. Yeah. It
Yeah,
looks
I
so
do
real.
seascapes. I mean, that's kind of one of my things, or doing seascapes. For
Okay,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. We're gonna get another one. Let's see what else we got here. That looks like I can almost hear the ocean going on that guy. Wow. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I like the
Wait.
spray. There's something about the spray. you
Okay.
know.
Now you
Drama,
can. How big
right?
is that?
11 by 14.
Okay, okay. It's like how you captured the water, and it looks like. I mean, it looks like we're sitting right there watching the water. I can almost hear it going through the. That's really cool.
Thank you.
That's very cool. Okay, next we'll get another one. Let's see what else.
Oh, that's one I just finished
Didn't you
the other
just
day.
finish
I
that?
just finished that the other day. Yeah, I
like
started it.
that.
It was one that I did not do alla prima because I
so
had
she
to
didn't-
leave,
Okay.
and I was going on vacation, and I thought, well, I'll finish this when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
And I left it on the easel, and I was like, Lori, go finish that thing because you're almost done. Just do
You're
it.
almost done.
So
Wow.
yeah,
And how big is this guy?
it's fun. That one's bigger. That's like 16 by 20.
Okay. Okay. That's very cool. And that's all oil.
Yes.
Now, when you're painting with oils, you can keep painting. You don't have to wait. I say I don't know nothing about oils.
That's correct. You don't have to, and people think that you do, but you don't.
Really? Okay.
You paint fat over lean is the rule.
What is explain
So
that?
that means that your initial layers need to be thinner.
Okay. Like your first coat.
Yep, your first layer. So whatever you paint, like if you're going to paint over it,
Mhm.
it can start to get thicker.
Okay.
And then by the time you get to your highlights,
Mhm.
you're kind of just laying it on top of the other paint.
So that's
so
when
to
you put
speak.
all your highlights in.
Yeah, at the end. Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So there's a method to it. You can't just, there's a method to it. Otherwise, they'll crack and they won't.
Really?
Yes. They won't dry correctly.
And how long does it take an oil usually to dry?
Depends on if you use medium or not, which I really don't anymore.
And what is a medium?
A medium is something that you mix with the paint,
Okay.
and some of them perpetuate drying. Some of them are for fluidity because you want it to be the paint to be a little bit more fluid. There's
Do you
just
ever use like the knives or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what
Yes.
those are called.
palette knives.
Palette. I was gonna say putty knife, but it's a palette knife.
Yes.
Okay. Do
I,
you
I
like
have
the
putty
palette?
knives in there too.
Oh,
If
okay.
you saw my table of brushes and tools that I use.
I know I got a whole bunch of tools that people look at and go, yeah, okay.
What? Yeah,
It's like,
it's-
what?
It's insane the
Isn't
amount.
that
People tease
interesting?
me, "You're gonna go buy some more? I bought some more brushes."
Ah.
you know?
Isn't
Yeah.
it interesting how we can look at something? I maybe look at this cap and go, God, I could use this. I like
This is
the
a
texture on
tool.
here. I can use it as a tool or anything. It's like you're always. I think that's what's so unique about artists because we're always creating. And
One
we're
of my
always,
favorite sets of brushes, honestly, are those really cheap, raggedy ones you get at Home Depot that are like,
Really?
like $1 a piece or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Those are the best for.
Really?
If you want to get some random spray on your ocean scene, get one of those.
Oh my God! Did you guys hear that? If you guys are a painter, go get the cheap brushes from Home
Yeah.
Depot or Lowe's and just go.
Yeah.
You know, that's so cool.
So I've got them from the most Kolinsky, the best brushes down to these
Okay,
rat-a-tats,
what do you
right?
use more? Do you use more of the best brushes or do you use kind of the mixture? It's just whatever.
Yeah.
But how do you know what brush to use?
I don't know, but because you're problem solving all the time you're painting. You're really problem solving
Okay.
on how to achieve that whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever
Okay.
look. You're trying to make a three-dimensional thing. A two-dimensional thing look three-dimensional is really what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it believable.
Okay.
So however you solve that problem
Right.
in your head, and there's so many techniques that you pick up along the way, whether it's dry brushing or
Right.
you
Now,
know.
what? Explain dry brushing. Explain all these, because no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, dry brushing, like, so an instance would be like taking like a bristle brush,
Okay.
which is bristly,
Right.
instead of a soft, you know.
Would be like the brush from Home Depot. Would you consider that a bristle brush? Or
It is a bristle brush, but it's a poor excuse for one. But
Oh,
yes.
okay. Well, we can use that for an example.
But
though.
yes.
Yes.
So and then take your paint with no medium, so it's kind of, you know, muddy, thick, and put it on the side of your brush and drag that brush along sideways. You're not even using
Mhm.
you're not using this part of your brush. You're using this part of your brush, and you know that would be a dry brushing technique.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that give you? That look of?
Lots of different
Lots of
purposes that
different-
you could use it for, but I use it in water a lot to get
To make it look like the.
random, no, to go like how you'll get random light across water,
Mhm.
because it's never just even, and unless it's very still water, but I don't think very
Right.
still
Right.
water.
Right. I can't see it just doing
Drama.
still water. That's too slow. That's too
Yeah.
boring.
More drama
We
than
want
that.
we want to hear the crashing of the waves and the
Right,
feeling
right,
the
right.
crashing of the waves and
Right.
stuff like that. That is very cool. That is very, very cool. Wow. I know nothing about painting. I've never painted, and that's just like I look at these people and go, wow.
But that's okay. When I'm playing with clay, I call you.
Yeah, I know, but she took some clay and she made something. I know. How did you like that?
I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
I'm altering my studio downstairs
She's
to
got
have
some
like
clay.
these different little workstations. It's
I
really
love it.
hysterical, but one is like my workstation for painting, a workstation for drawing, a workstation for sculpting. It's like, what-
That's cool.
please somebody stop me now. Like,
Pretty soon she's gonna have a saw in there and a table saw and some wood
right, we
and
don't
stuff
know.
like that. That's so cool. That is so
yeah,
so.
w-
You guys want to put
sculpting,
another picture up? We'll take whatever. It's cool. I think we did that one. How about another one? Let's see what else we got.
We have a whole
Yeah.
bunch more on Instagram
Yeah.
that are.
Let's see what has he got.
I don't know if you could
You
get
know,
on there or
what
not,
is
but-
that? Is that water or is that almost look like a tree with a
Which one?
is it what?
Which one?
This one up right now.
It's a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A tree. A tree. A tree.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a real fast break. You're watching WJZZ Get Down and Dirty Talking Art on WJZZ on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, with my guest, my guest Lori Ellsworth. Okay, another photo, guys. I just had a fast introduction. So, okay, how about another photo? You guys got anything else we can throw up there? We can talk about. We can talk all night, of course, but okay. Now you're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art. If anybody want to call in, got questions for Lori, hey, she'll do a commission if you guys are looking for something. You guys maybe got a family, or you want grandma and grandpa in there, or somebody really cool, you know. And you can find her on Instagram. It's Lori Ellsworth
Art.
on
Or
Instagram.
Art, yeah.
Yep.
On Instagram.
And you'll find her on there and find some of her really amazing pictures and stuff
A
like
lot
that.
more than.
Yeah, than what
than
we
we're
got.
showing you
Yeah,
here
we
today.
only put a couple up just to
Yeah,
kind of get
there's quite a bit on there now.
a view and stuff like that. So,
Knowing that I've only gotten back to painting,
how long have you
Oh,
been
this-
back to painting?
this, not even a year.
It's not even been a year.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's all right, because when you started painting, when we got coming out of the darkness, that's when you just kind of got back to your painting.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
And everything I had before that was sold.
Really?
So everything was gone. I had I had nothing
Wow.
left.
Wow.
You know.
Who's
So
been who was your biggest, most amazing collector? Is there somebody that you could
you
say
know, I
that?
don't know who this guy was, but he used to come into one of the galleries that
Okay.
I was in Livonia.
Okay, yeah, Laurel Park.
Yep, Laurel Park.
Okay.
And he
I remember.
he came in with his daughters to buy the horse paintings,
Okay.
and they came in. He'd asked me, "When's the new one come? When is the new one
I
coming?"
remember that.
And he every time. He's probably got almost every original horse, almost
You
every
don't have
one
his
that I did.
information or anything? If you guys are out there and you go into Laurel Park and to Artisan Market and you bought some of Lori's, you can find her on Instagram and Lori Ellsworth Art, and you can get some horse paintings. So, you know,
I haven't
God,
done it in
that
a while. I mean, when I started back painting, I mean, you've seen what I've done in
right,
the past
right.
for
Wow.
the past year, but
That's that's
but they're on my radar again for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I remember in her in the back room. She was doing her art painting classes and stuff like that. It was,
Yeah.
do you like teaching kids? Do you like teaching adults, or what do you like teaching the best? Do you think is the most?
I like teaching kids who are a little bit older.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, little kids are fun. It's
Mhm.
fun, but
Stressful.
it's not. Yeah, it's not quite
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
teaching them, but you're not teaching them. It depends on the kids, you know.
Mhm.
If some are really serious about it, and some are
I have a
just.
grandson who's very
And
serious
then
about
yeah,
working,
so some
painting.
are.
Yeah.
But then I like adults.
Okay.
I like teaching adults.
Okay. Okay. Does somebody come in if they're going to be teaching? Do they have to have any kind of skills to come in and see you, or
No.
you could just if you guys want to learn how to paint? We might be
Yeah.
offering something for Glory to learn how to teach.
Yeah, no, you really don't. Like I kind of pride myself on that. If you want to know the truth,
That's so neat.
it's like taking someone that just really doesn't. I mean, you don't even really have to know how to draw.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do I have to learn how to draw?
Because kind of what when I'm teaching painting, we're talking about painting, and painting is really not in my head. It's not a drawing that you cartoon that you
Okay.
paint in.
Okay.
It is a mosaic of different splotches
That
of
is
paint.
interesting.
That's what it is. So they're all different shapes, and if you learn to look at those shapes as
Wow.
abstract shapes rather than like if you're going to paint a cup, a mug,
Mm-hmm.
look at all the abstract shapes of color that are in it and put those pieces of paint down, and you're going to have
Oh, she's knocking over the mic.
And you're gonna have-
Really?
and you're
I
gonna have
would
a
never
mug.
thought. Do you look at like the shadows or
yes, you look at all the variations.
like I'm
in
looking
the
at
colors.
like this and I'm seeing
Yes.
different colors and stuff
Yes.
like that. But how do you? I just can't figure. See, I'm seeing like little lights and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I just can't figure how I would create that to make it look real.
That's my job, is to walk you through it.
Wow. I'm gonna have to come over and try to maybe paint. I've never painted in my life, other than the paint by number or something like
Yeah.
that. That would be, wow.
My mother came to one of my Michael's classes one time. Which
Did
was
she? How did
really
she do?
Hysterical, because she, God rest her soul, but she was
Your mom was cool.
she was
Her mom was
absent-minded as crazy. She was
But her
so
mom
funny.
was so much
She couldn't
fun.
focus for more than 2 seconds flat, on anything.
Yeah.
But she painted that painting, and I'm telling you, it was good. It was one of the best ones that any of my students had ever done.
Really?
My one daughter still has it. She framed it.
I was
but
gonna say, do you
she's
still
like,
have your
it
mom's
just-
painting?
Yeah, it's like we were astounded. That
Really?
She's like, no, Grams didn't do this. I'm like, Grams did this? Yes, she did.
See,
I took all
maybe
the credit,
she had it
but
internally and she never let it out. And that's
I
maybe
still
what-
take all the credit.
I know. We're gonna take all the credit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I take the credit for my son's artwork. I take the credit
Oh,
for
that's
Amanda.
right. That's right. And how many kids? Tell everybody how many kids you have.
I've got 3.
And how many grandbabies you got?
10.
She got 10 grandbabies.
When I tell people I got 10 grandbabies, they're like, how many kids do you have? And I'm like, just 3.
Yeah. So, what is something like coming up? Like, what kind of like suggestion can you give to anybody who's out there who is maybe wanting to paint but they're scared?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I used to do that's a good question, because
Okay.
that is very.
And I think
it's-
people are held
it's
back. I think they're
very
intimidated.
prevalent. And first of all, it's only paint.
Okay.
Second of all, nobody has to know.
That's right.
And third of all, what I used to do in my classes to get people to like loosen up, I'd call it the loosey goosey. And what I'd have them do is stand at an easel
Mhm.
and take the longest brush that they could take, and hold that brush at the very end of the brush, and stand with full arm stretched out and just make your shapes. And to loosen them up so they weren't just all trying to get in there,
Right. Right.
and get details down before they ever even had a big, and it caused a lot of laughs. And I told them, I promise you, nobody will get hurt.
And nobody's gonna throw paint. Anybody ever throw?
Nobody's gonna get hurt. This is gonna be just fine. And
That's so cool.
and then they'd relax and start painting,
Wow.
because it's really.
How is it different than painting with a twist? I've never been to painting with a twist. It just looks kind of, something I don't think I'd be interested in.
Well, I think that I mean, I'm not disparaging painting with
No,
twist, 'cause
I think it's great. I think
painting's
it's
painting.
fun.
It's fun. You
Yeah.
know, if it's fun, it's fun. It doesn't matter
Right.
what or how. But I think they start with like an image, and they do step you through it. You do paint it from beginning
Okay.
to end because you have to, right? It's only
Right,
one
right.
session. And I think it's kind of like more of like a paint along. So it's like
Okay.
I do something and I show you what to do,
Okay.
and then you do it.
Okay. But you
Yeah.
kind of let the people just kind of create what they want to create. You know, like maybe I don't want that wave to go that way. I want my wave to go this way.
You do whatever you want to
Just
do.
do whatever you want. So if
Yeah.
somebody's coming in, do they have a set thing they got to paint, or you just kind of let them paint whatever they want to
You know,
paint?
it depends. I've done it both ways.
Okay. What do you find better?
In the beginning, when somebody's first starting,
Mhm.
I'd say painting the same thing
Okay.
because it is
So you can help them kind of through the process.
yes, so that they start learning what the processes are.
Okay.
But
And,
once
you
they've
know,
done it a little bit, then I've given private lessons where they've painted with me for a while,
that's cool.
and then it's like, what do you want to paint? You know, and that's what we'll paint. What do you want
Wow,
to paint? That's what
okay,
we'll paint.
okay.
Yeah.
Has any of your students ever painted like faces or anything? Is that a hard thing to do?
It's the hardest thing to do.
Is it? Okay.
Why do you think I did it?
Oh, okay. Okay.
People are the hardest things to paint.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So
what is the hardest thing on the face to paint? Would it be the eyes, expression,
it's not. It's the
actual face?
No, it's the curvatures, because the curvatures in the bone, so the bone structure, the
Mhm.
curvatures are so unique that I could get your features down exactly, but if I didn't have the curvatures of the shape of your face down,
Interesting.
so to paint a curve, if you really think about
I didn't
painting
even
a
know how to paint
curve,
a curve.
right?
Yeah.
Like how do you transition from one, right?
Just
That's
straight.
that's the trickiest part,
Wow.
Yeah.
That would, yeah.
in my estimation.
That I wouldn't have the first thing how to do a curve other than a circle.
Yeah. Well, you start with an oval.
Okay. See, I always thought the eyes, because you're capturing the soul of the person, type of thing. You know.
Yeah, all of that's true.
Yeah. That's wow. So what's next? What do you hope to be? What's next? Like what do you see?
Well,
like,
I've been getting paintings into various exhibitions,
Mhm. Do you have anything coming up?
and I do not. I have just two that are coming out. I've got one in the
BBAC?
Dearborn. Yeah, I've got
Oh,
one in
the
the
one in
BBAC in
Dearborn
Dearborn.
in the Civic Center. I call
Yeah,
it Civics. Yeah.
in the Civic Center, they have a show, a
Right.
gallery.
I can't remember
they
the
have
name
a
of the
gallery in there,
gallery.
and they have a show going on right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got a painting in there.
It's a neat place.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. It is.
So probably my inspirations right now are really to do more of that.
Okay.
Just to do more of that.
Okay. If you had a magic wand, what would be the best place ever to be able to have your work at?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean I would think it's going to be in Chicago or New York.
Okay. I like it. Putting it out there.
Yeah,
Putting it
of
out
course.
there. Okay.
You if you don't do things, then they never
Well, you can't
happen.
think
Now
big.
do they?
Yeah, you gotta think out of the box.
Yeah.
Just like when you're painting, you have to think out of the box.
Yes.
Kind of think, oh, that was really cool. That was really cool. So what piece are you working on now? Anything special or,
Actually, I'm working on. Remember that if I paint, beginning to end.
That's right.
I'm not working
But
on.
I don't know, what
you're
she's
not
gonna be painting
see,
tomorrow. We might have to post it
You're
tomorrow.
not going to see something sitting around there that's
Okay.
going to take me days on end to paint because I'll lose interest
Okay.
so
Yeah.
fast.
Alright.
But
I'll have to see if she sends me some photos and we'll be posting it
Yeah,
on
yeah.
on our Facebook page.
and I got a thing right now about doing charcoal portraits. Right
Really?
now. Yeah, I love doing charcoal portraits. I think I've got some John Singer Sargent DNA in there somewhere because that was his thing too.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
same.
Are
But-
charcoal are they hard to do, or is it just is it
They're
just
easier.
they're
to
easier?
Me. They're easier to me.
Wow.
They're much easier.
That is really interesting. Okay. And can you do it just as fast, I'm sure?
Faster.
Faster. Oh, we got speed lightning lady here.
Yeah, and the thing that I found out is that with and everyone is so different, so unique that way, and it should be. But for me, one of the reasons that I'm a relatively fast painter. I'm a fast drawer. The reason is that once you've gone through so many years of training and 1,001 failures and so on and so forth, you know what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
You know what you need to do. So you need to for me, I just need to get out of my own way
Yeah, get out of
and
your
just
head.
let it rip. Just let it go.
Yeah, just let
And just do it.
Okay.
And that's why I'm fast. And that's why I do it that way.
That's interesting. Wow.
Mhm.
That's cool. That's very cool. Did you ever done like we used to do acrylics. Now, have you
Yeah.
ever done any watercolor?
Yes.
Okay. Is it hard? It just
It's an opposite approach.
okay.
So a watercolor, if you think about watercolor, and you don't have white watercolor. So what you have is paper
Mhm.
or surface, right? So you have the surface. So you have to paint. You're going to leave that highlight for the last. So you're going to take this white piece of paper, and you're going to know where your highlights are on it right
Okay.
now,
Okay.
right? And you're going to start painting, and you're going to paint your darks and your others, right?
Do you find that harder?
For me, it is because I'm used to the opposite approach,
Okay. To the dark, to the
which
light.
dark to light, which is mostly every other medium.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Wow. Wow.
They're
That's really cool.
gorgeous and an amazing talent. But most people, the other thing is most people who do watercolor, unless they do a really loose watercolor,
Mhm.
where they're just, they will draw it in and then
Okay.
and then
I've seen people that do
most-
that where they're actually like drawing in the watercolor. That
they
draw
draw it
and
with
then
pencil
paint
and then
it.
they paint it in.
Right. So you
that's
do
the
not
sta-
do that on
I
yours.
don't do that.
You just kind of just take that brush and that's your drawing
Yes.
tool. That is
And if
so
if
cool.
it turns out to be a frisbee, it turns out to be a frisbee.
So when you're painting, before you're painting, do you know what you're gonna paint?
Always.
Oh, you do. Okay. Okay. So
Always.
you kind of got an idea what what you
Always.
want to paint.
Yeah.
I didn't know
always.
if you just kind of take the brush and go, well, I just feel like painting this foot today or something. So you kind of have an idea.
I might feel like painting a foot that day, but I know I'm going to paint a foot before I paint a foot.
Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't
yeah.
know if you just kind of so.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank everybody for being here
That
on
was fast.
W. I told you it was fast. It's like you
Wow.
blink your eyes and it's like we're done. I don't know if we're totally off, but thank you everybody. I'm not sure who we're having next week. But thank you, Lori,
Thank you.
for it was wonderful. And you can also please watch her on Lori Ellsworth on Instagram.
Lori Ellsworth
Of
Art.
on
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
And we'll put her information on our page. And we'd like everybody to please comment, share, like, whatever it is. Call Lori if you want any fantastic paintings and stuff like that. She's your girl, and she does beautiful animals and dogs and horses. If you guys want a horse, Lori is the girl for the horse. She has got some, and they're just such magnificent animals. They
really are.
They really
Yeah,
are. They're
yeah.
just so statuesque and stuff like that. So, thank you, everybody. I don't know if we're totally off air or not. I don't know. Is it some night? There we are. Thank you, everybody. Good night. I told you.